Welcome to TYT Sports, everybody. Ben Mankiewicz, Rick Strom. Big news today. Jason Collins, NBA player for many years, has come out with news that has surprised everyone. And that news is that apparently Jason Collins plays for the Wizards. I had no idea.
Well, he doesn't play for the Wizards. He's a free agent now.
But he played for the Wizards.
He played for the Wizards.
Who knew? Who knew? Also, he's gay.
Did you actually know that?
I had no idea.
Really?
No clue. I was like, it said Wizards, Jason Collins comes out as gay. My first thing wasn't, wow, what a historic watershed civil rights movement in sports. It was that, fucking Jason Collins plays for the Wizards.
You're so full of shit.
I had no idea.
You're so full of shit.
I had no clue.
Considering how much you talk about the Wizards, you had no idea he played for that team.
Who pays attention to who's at the end of the Wizards bench at the end of a grueling NBA season where you go 28 and 54?
I would think you would.
No, I didn't. So great news, the Wizards have a gay player. It's fantastic that Jason Collins was comfortable to do this. It's only a matter of time. We can see it building with the sort of, Brendan Ayanbadejo and Chris Cluey, sort of these guys coming out talking openly that it was okay to have a gay player. Then when you see like Chris Culliver of the San Francisco 49ers getting sort of hit hard, vilified for his anti-gay comments, like that's a sign the atmosphere was changing. And what do you know? The atmosphere changed enough that we got to the point here just a few months later, a few months after the Super Bowl, where a professional athlete in one of the big sports is comfortable saying, as he said, I'm 34 years old, I'm an NBA player, I'm black, and I'm gay.
11 years in the league. He played with 6 teams for New Jersey most of the early part of his career. What I really liked is that I understand that it came out, his story came out with Sports Illustrated, obviously the front cover of SI.com. And the way, and look, a lot of people are going to say, well, it was the writer who wrote it, basically, yada, yada. But I feel like he had a big part in it. And the way that he may have constructed some of those sentences and the way that he wrote it deep from, you could tell it was deep
it's
in
personal.
his heart.
I mean, I don't know, the writer, right? It sounds like to me like Jason Collins wrote it.
It was tremendous, the way that it was written. And what I had to bring this up because he obviously knows comedy as well. He said, note to Shaq, my flopping has nothing to do with being gay. So like I thought, you know what, that's awesome, well, and then he kept on.
He famously plays Shaq tough. Like he was successful as much as anyone who was successful against Shaq.
He brought that up too.
In his heyday, he frustrated Shaq, no question.
Yeah. He's
a big guy, 7 feet. He and his brother Jarron both went to Stanford. They went to a Final Four. They went to an Elite Eight. They almost came to UCLA. They were great college players.
Yes, they were. And also number 98. Did you know the reason why I didn't even know the reason why he wore number 98. Matthew Shepard at the University of Wyoming. He was an undergrad there. He was kidnapped, tortured, and lashed to a prairie fence where he died.
This was a huge story.
So that's the reason that he wears number 98. I also didn't know that.
What's the 98 component of Matthew Shepard?
It was in 1998 that it occurred.
Okay. I didn't know that at all. That's very telling. But that was a really big story.
Yeah, but I mean, overall, it was just a very well-written piece. But unfortunately, I mean, like when I first saw this, and I was amazed that Steve-O retweeted me. It's impossible to get. I basically said, congratulations to him. The outpouring of support that we've seen is tremendous because I thought that there would be some doubters and naysayers to this. And unfortunately, they have come about on Twitter, and one of them is Lance Briggs. And as everyone knows, I'm from Chicago, I'm a Bears fan. One person tweeted at him.
This is Bears linebacker, Bears Pro Bowl linebacker, Lance Briggs.
Yes, out of the University of Arizona. Here's what one person said to him. Now with Jason, as in Collins, coming out, do you think the NFL players will? And he said, how about those Bulls?
Yeah, way to tackle it head on, Lance.
Another one. What are your thoughts on Jason Collins coming out? Tough 6-4 loss last night for the Cubs. It's really disappointing. It's really passive aggressive to see these sort of comments, and it just goes to show you don't have to say anything about it. If you were to be silent or even just say, I feel good for him.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to respond to it if you don't, but I would just, good for him. How about that?
Yeah, it's simple, it's easy, so clearly there's something there. One person said, well, maybe he just doesn't want to look into people's private lives. Come on, like it's already come to the surface.
The good news is Lance Briggs is a Cub fan. It's good.
Yeah, clearly. Not a White Sox fan.
A bit of a surprise.
One more. Mike Wallace, of course, who signed with the Dolphins.
Lance Briggs doesn't compare what you're about to read from Mike Wallace, far more hostile than Lance Briggs.
I would think so. All these beautiful women in the world and guys want to mess with other guys. SMH, as Ben just learned, that means shaking my head.
Yeah.
And then he also said, I'm not bashing anybody, don't have anything against anyone, I just don't understand it.
Yeah, well, I mean, no, that you're Mike. You're bashing someone.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you're doing.
Clearly. Yeah.
Again, as you said, you're bashing somebody passive aggressively. Just don't understand it. Well, here's how you don't understand it. They don't. They don't understand how you have sex with women. Right? Okay.
Yeah.
That's it. But you know what? They do understand it because they get that not everyone is like them. People are different. So, classless from Mike Wallace. I wish him failure with the Miami Dolphins. Is that who he's with?
Yeah, he's
All
with the
right. Well,
Dolphins.
the good news is he won't have any trouble achieving failure with the Dolphins. The fact of the matter is the country is changing, is never going to change back. All that's going to happen now is that in the next couple of months, another player will come out. Maybe another basketball player, maybe in another sport, but it's coming. It's over. Gay people are among us, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, Ian Badejo actually said that there are 4 players in the NFL right now who are thinking about coming out.
Right.
Well, we obviously don't know who that is. We don't know anything about them specifically, obviously. But
Let's speculate as to who those players are.
let's not and say we did.